G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in the south of the map, it is Sho, and he is going to be playing for us some Rus. Now for anybody unfamiliar with Sho, he is a StarCraft 2 player, well ex-StarCraft 2 player, next StarCraft 2 Pro. My understanding is he used to be a Terran player, so he's obviously moving over to Age of Empires 4, as pretty much everybody is at the moment, and he is going to be playing a little bit of a Rus for us. So the map that we've got here, the magical, the wonderful Hill and Dale, and take a look at the spawn that he has got here. This is an amazing spawn for a number of reasons, but I don't know if you can get through there. I'm going to say that you probably can. I think that that's fine. I think you should be able to just get through there, but he's going to be able to wall that up with only a little bit of walls. He'll be able to wall up this side over here and down around here. It's a very, very nice spawn for him. He'll be very happy with this. And his opponent, who spawns on the opposite side of the map. Let's go say good day to them. It is, of course, Don Artie, the one and only, the big favorite in many tournaments that he plays in, and undoubtedly going to be the favorite heading into this match. He's going to be playing his pocket pick, the English. And I tell you what, if there's one thing I like about Don, it is that he is consistent. He loves the English, and he sticks with it all the time. So, going to be watching exactly what he does. A little bit of curious decision-making coming out here with the villagers. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. He had two villagers out here chopping, brought them back in, sent them back out, but who knows? We'll have to watch. We'll have to see what he's up to. It looks like he might be going for an early mill on his hunt. Only got one villager out there at the moment. This could just simply be to deny the Rus hunt. So, one of the things that we've seen players do, instead of using their scout to kill their starting hunts on maps like these, what they will do is they will actually just use a villager to kill the starting hunts. And so you can just gather, like build the mill there, gather, and then just right-click the hunts in between gathering as well. So you basically have no idle time. So pretty nice move. And then Don's actually going to be picking up 3 wolves here. So this map is actually quite a good map for the Rus because there are more wolf spawns on it because it is a larger map. So the larger the map, typically, the more wolves. It is not the case with sheeps, but with wolves, that seems to be the way that it does the calculations. And Don actually going for an early wheelbarrow here. So nice little early wheelbarrow, some cheeky shenanigans. I definitely think people are still sort of on the fence about early wheelbarrow, about whether it's viable. So we'll have to see how Don Artie goes here. We'll check back in on Sho and see what he is up to. So he's got triple scouts out at the moment, going to be picking up Don's second hunt out here. Has he picked up his own second hunt? Indeed he has. So he's going to be picking up a total of 3 hunts. Going to be clicking up now to the next age. No hunting cabin at this stage. At least, oh no, I take it back. They look very similar to the house, the architecture between the house and the hunting cabin. Now going to be going up with the Golden Gate. Looks like he's got about a tile gap there between the town center and his Golden Gate. So not too fussed about fitting farms in there. He is playing the Rus, obviously, so highly likely that we are going to be seeing him go for those professional scouts. Now, that is one of the main builds that Rus players are going for. So at the moment, the current meta for the Rus seems to be professional scouts into fast castle. That's at least what we see most of the time. Now, he's going to need enough food here to help him go up. But the problem is, his scouts are still out on the map. They haven't brought back that all-important food just yet. And so as a result, it's going to mean that he is somewhat delayed in actually being able to gather up food here. Now, he's not going to go idle, but obviously this is going to hurt his build order quite a bit, not being able to gather food during the transition period, and just having that extra walking time. But going to be coming in now, 10 villagers, or rather 10 sheep, are going to be gathering up and dropping down a second hunting cabin. I do like this from him. I think early hunting cabins are really quite strong for the Rus, but you can see all the sheep there that are now getting picked up. Second house here as well. But lots of sheep here. He can even delay his professional scouts, to be honest. That is quite a lot of sheep. So he's done a really good job of picking up all those extra sheep across the map. Don Artie, you can see him now, only with 2 at the moment. A little bit of scout harass happening now from Sho. He's beginning to harass that villager down. Manages to lose a fair bit of HP. And now Don going to begin clicking up here with the council hall, so no real surprises there. And Sho reaching the feudal age. So we can expect, we'll have a look over at his base and see what he opts to do at this stage of the game. Whether he looks to get those professional scouts out. We do see he's dropping down a gold or a mining camp on the gold mine here, so we'll have to take a look at that. A lot of wood right now, so he has most likely sold. He's bought stone. All right, that's what he's done. So looking to get a second town center in as well. So very, very nice for him on that front. So we can expect that with the second ticket, he's going to buy another amount of stone and then drop down that second town center. Second town center position I wouldn't be surprised if he actually goes on the hunt here and the berries. That's a pretty decent spot right there. That way he doesn't have to bring these guys in extra close. What upgrades does he have? He doesn't have any real upgrades at the moment. No lumber upgrades either. But going to continue working in on this gold, and we'll expect to see with his next ticket that he does purchase stone again, as this ticket does refresh once every minute. You'll be able to afford another 150 stone very, very shortly. Don now going to be dropping down to barracks and begin training up his painted longbowman and spearman combo. We'll take a look now back at the Rus player's base, and you can see there it is. Second town center going to go down, but interestingly on the deer carcass, it probably will get... I wonder what happens here. Yeah, okay, it just gets cancelled. So he was going to drop it right there, but it looks like it's just... Now I think he's realized it. Now going to be dropping it on the gold mine and the berry. So not a bad spot. Normally, I guess I'm a little bit different because I am a Chinese player. So I like to always drop mine down on a lumber line, a wood line. But I guess for the Rus, obviously lumber's not as important. You know, once you get up to that third age, all you're going to be really making are those gold and food units, unless you do decide to go for those horse archers. But now Don Artie going to begin moving out of his base. Plenty of units out onto the map. You can see a spear, a longbowman, and obviously the scout's going to be there scouting it out. Now, I'm curious if you can actually get through over here. We talked about that a bit earlier. I haven't actually seen... Oh, no, you know what? I did see those scouts go through. There were 2 scouts that went through with all those sheep. They came through from that direction. We've actually got ourselves a double stable opening as well. I do like this from Show. This is quite nice. Don's going to be moving back around towards that opening. I don't think he actually knows where the opening of the base is for Show. So the best thing he can do is just get these units and just right-click up here, and they will find a way. All right, so Don now going to be looking to loop around the base. Is he not going to be able to get up here, or does he just not? Does he not think it's possible? Maybe that's the issue. We'll have to wait. We'll have to see. Show looking pretty decent though at this point. I would definitely be feeling quite happy in his position. No professional scouts at this point, so I guess on this map you can play a little bit more greedy, and going double TC is definitely the way to do it. He's got plenty of food in his base, so definitely would be playing a little bit more rigid. That's one thing to note, is, or rather playing a bit more flexibly. When you're playing Age of Empires, it's important that you have a game plan, but at the same time, you adjust that game plan to what you have in front of you. So as an example, we're on a map here. You can see it's quite a boomy map. You've got a very nice defense in that you've got natural walls around your base. So what does Show do? Show says, all right, well, I'm not going to go what the standard Rus build order is. I'm going to go for the, you know, a double TC, double stable opening in the first stage. And then that way, Don's sitting over here on one town center. He's going to have a bit of a difficult time. Show now going to be walling up his base as well. And we actually see a villager out from Don Artie here. So this might have been a misclick. He sent a villager down this way. Is Don walling... Don's walling in his enemy. Don Artie is walling in his enemy. This is a classic Don Artie move. Oh, he's already walled in the front of here. Has he walled himself in here? Don, you got to be careful, son. This is classic Don Artie. So Don Artie, for anybody unfamiliar, Age of Empires 3 is his history, and he is known for his creative play style. So there was a huge tournament, the largest Age of Empires 3 tournament in history happened earlier this year, and Don Artie actually took out the favorite for that tournament, Kaiserklein. And he did it in very nice fashion. I think the final score in that series was 3-2, and Don had the most creative stuff, and he set the meta for that game. After that series, we saw consistent, replicas coming out of that game, or of that series, for the remainder of the meta in that patch. Don single-handedly just, crafted the meta there in that series. Impressive stuff from him. And now, looking to wall in his enemy, we'll have to see whether that becomes meta. He's got to be careful now as his enemy begins to move in. Just taking out the ram timing before the ram even gets up. A couple of spears on the front line here. Looking pretty decent. He's going to be able to get back through that wall. And a lot of lancers out here on the front line. He's got 5 lancers, 2 scouts are going to be pushing that one back. And Don doing his best to force it back. He's got to be careful. He does lose his scout out now, so going to be losing a lot of line of sight. And Show actually just going to be dropping down a wall in response. And he says, you know what? You can wall me in. I can wall you out, mate. And that's exactly what he does. You see those walls coming up right now. Using those fortified palisade walls, they do have more HP than just the standard wall, which is what the English have got access to. 1,500 versus the 3,000. But a villager going to be going down for Show. So I think that might be the first one of the game that does go down. And Don really walling in his enemy right now. I'm curious exactly why Don's doing this. There could be a couple of reasons, but look, I think it's a great idea to sort of lock your enemy into their base like this. He does have a lot of resources. That's important to note, okay? He's got a really big gold mine here. He's got a lot of stone back here. He's got plenty of resources, so he doesn't really need to be too fussed about it. He's also got a double forest here. But one thing to note is the lack of food. Now, obviously, Show typically would have been going professional scouts. He hasn't actually researched it at this point. And, you know, Don's hunts remain out here. There's another hunt that's in the middle of the map. So these could potentially be brought in. I think Don might be trying to stop that. There's also a sheep that's been walled in. You know, just preventing all that sort of offense from coming out. So I do like that play by Don. Zhou definitely going to be in a difficult spot now as the ram begins to push through. Only got 600 HP on it, so probably got sieged a little bit by those lancers, but I would expect Don's just going to have a lot of spears rallying out across the map. Has he added in a second? He has indeed added in a second barracks now to respond to all of those early knights that we begin to see. And how many knights are there out right now for Show? There's 11 knights out for Show. If we take a look from Don's perspective, Don's got 13 hardened spearmen, so those are rookie numbers. He's going to need to buff those up if he really wants to hold here. Now, Don's going to be careful. He's moving in to bait out these villagers, and you can see him trying to pick them off. Almost just 2 HP on that villager there. So Don just shy of being able to one-shot those villagers at this point. Wooden Fortress there going to be providing a lot of cover. Now Don moving on to the town center. And keep in mind, one of the things Don says about these trades is ideally just going for villager kills. He doesn't want to actually kill the town center. He just wants to kill the villagers. And now he's going to be running in. Show looking like he's going to be able to pick that one off as he gets repelled now by the spears. A lot of spears out today for Don. He's definitely worked up those numbers. He's up to 12 lancers as those knights actually come in. Longbowman on the backline, going to be looking to focus these down, and it looks like Joe's actually going to be cleaning it up. No issue here with him at all. He's going to be able to overrun this completely. 6 early knights remain, and Don's going to be having to make a break for that backline, trying to funnel in those units, but having a difficult time. We see more spears on the backline. They've done a little bit of a pause at the moment, trying to get into this outpost, protecting the villager before it goes up. You can see it's going up so slowly. It's got another 20 HP, 10. It does get up. Don's got to get inside that outpost, but even if he does, I think he's going to be able to get this burned down. Show shouldn't have any problem at all, and yeah, you can see the amount of damage that's coming through there, sitting at about 15, now at about 25% HP, now about, what is that, 30, 40, and now moving down to about half HP. So this is going to be down, but the spears do actually move in, and Show's got to make a decision. Does he commit to the outpost right now, or does he retreat? And he decides to retreat. So Show definitely making, oh my lord, the whole time that's been happening, the battering ram has just been tapping away on this town center and causing a huge amount of damage. And you might not think that that's a big deal because Show is held, but it's important to remember, the English, the way it works is that's round 1, okay? You've got another 2 rounds after this, and then maybe you could call it a day. So English round 2 is going to be coming up shortly. You can see the amount of spears that are coming out. I would expect in response to that, Show's going to be dropping an archery range. There they are. Double archery range is now going to be coming out for him as well. So the main issue that Show is going to have is that he's going to have a lack of food. And even though we do see plenty of food out here for him, he's got lots of deer carcasses that still remain. This is not perpetual. This does not last forever. And once he exhausts this, he's going to have to move over to farms. And that is, as a Rus player, something you never want to do. You typically, as a Rus player, want to be using the majority of these deer carcasses that are out on the map. You want to be moving out to boars as well as the Rus, because you do obviously have that accelerated food gathering bonus through the bounty system. But obviously that does also carry over to farms. But ideally, you would just, more than other civs, I think you do want to be trying to take map control as the Rus. So I think in this situation, it's a little bit of a tough spot for Show. We'll take a look over at Don Artie's base. We'll see exactly what he is up to. So he does have that blacksmith down, does have siege engineering. We've seen him already preparing with that, and he's got all of his +1 upgrades as well. Now as he begins to push in towards the base of his opponent, we don't see any battering ram that's being rebuilt at this point in time, and Don's still pretty happy at the moment. He's sitting back here at the moment on 41 villagers. His opponent, Show, sitting on 46, so a slight villager advantage, but at the same time, you would expect with a two town center opening rather, like this, you would expect a little bit more of a villager advantage. Don now going to be pushing in and taking out more villagers. We can see the villager count slowly but steadily getting brought in, and some long-range charges coming out there. Did you guys see how long-range those charges were? It looked like they charged into the house. It was kind of a little bit of a curious decision. But anyway, now Don is going to be doing his best. Still no battering rams yet. very curious from Don. I would have thought, you know, just even one battering ram at this point is more than enough. But does Don spot out? I want to see if Don spots out those archers. He does spot out the archers, so I don't know exactly how he's getting line of sight on this. I suspect it's from his own longbowman. So he's probably going to be training a lot more. Yeah, now we see longbows coming out in response to this. So for anybody wondering what is the way that the micro works in this situation, Don is looking to focus the archers of his enemy with his own longbows. He wants to kill those, and he wants to keep his spears alive. And he wants to have the spears engage on the early knights, whereas his opponent, Sho, he wants to be focusing out the spears with his archers and then using the knights to pull those spears out so that he can do that, and then finally getting a very nice connection with the knights on top of the longbows. So that's the way the micro is going to work in this situation. Don going to continue working down this house as those units do continue to funnel in across the map. And I suspect we're going to have a push coming in very soon, as it looks like Don was preparing to drop down a very important battering ram. But still, we don't actually see a lot of wood for Don. He's got 5 villages on gold. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing with all this gold. He does have all of his upgrades. He's got all of his food upgrades as well, with the exception of the hunting one. So he's in a pretty decent position. Does he have his wood upgrades? He's got all of his wood upgrades as well. Don looking very strong right now. No mining upgrade just yet. So he's basically got every single upgrade that you could ask for at this stage. The only exception, he doesn't have +1. I don't think he has... Does he have +1 attack? No, he doesn't have +1 defense. +1 armor piercing defense. Ram going to be coming in now for Don as well. And he doesn't have that mining upgrade, so doing pretty well on the upgrades. We'll take a look at Joe, though, and we'll see exactly what his upgrades are. So he does have the wood chopping upgrade. Does he have the mining upgrade? Let's take a look over here. No mining upgrade, and he does have just the wheelbarrow upgrade as well. And now the battering ram begins to move in. Sho going to be looking to defend as those knights looking to come in, but a lot of spears now for Don Artie. He's definitely doing pretty well. There's got to be villagers that get pulled. Villagers need to get pulled for this ram right now, otherwise the ram is going to be fine. There is an opening at this point where that needs to happen, but you can see just how difficult these archer numbers are having with the archers of the enemy. The longbows from Don are really doing a great job just picking off all these archers as they fall down. Way too many spears in here right now for Don Artie, and he's definitely having a great time as they now begin to barrel down on the enemy units. And I don't even think a villager pull at this point isn't even going to matter, because Don Artie looks like he's going to be able to overwhelm his opponent at this point completely. And we take a look now, and Don's army mass is significant compared to his opponent. Just a few remaining villagers, or rather a few remaining, he's got a couple scouts and an early knight in there, but definitely looking like it might be good game getting called here for Sho. He is going to be trying to hold on with his town center here. A couple of villagers inside it. Is 23 idols at the moment, as the villagers down here should have been up on that battering ram, and that would have at least held on for a little bit longer, but now a second battering ram going to be coming in as well. And I think this might be a good game getting called any second now, because Sho is going to be tapping out right now. Too many military in the base of his opponent, and I got to ask the question, are walls too good? It definitely seems like walls were an important part of this game, but I hope you guys have enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.